everything you need to know about the verb to speak or hablar in this video. You will learn the conjugation of the present tense in affirmative, negative, and interrogative, as always with theory and exercise to practice. The verb to speak, or in Spanish the verb hablar, it's really important because the first question that someone will ask you is: do you speak Spanish? ¿Hablas español? And if you study with me, your answer will be: I speak Spanish very well. Hablo español muy bien. So yeah, that's an important verb. As you have seen in the examples, in Spanish we have different conjugation for each personal pronoun. In this particular verb, hablar, it is a regular verb that finishes in AR, so we have the first type of conjugation. And we are going to study it in a second, but first, as you know, for some verbs in English we use two different verbs in Spanish. For example, the verb to be, we split it in ser and estar. And other verbs like see or watch, in Spanish we only use one verb, in this case el verbo ver. I have good news for you. With the verb to speak, we only have the verb hablar. So that's an easy one. So let's stop wasting time and start with the conjugation of each personal pronoun. As I mentioned, the verb hablar is a regular verb that finishes in AR, and all the regular verbs that finish in AR have the same conjugation. So if you learn this one, you will know how to conjugate the 90% of the verbs that finish in AR. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla. Nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. Remember that in Spanish we use usted or ustedes when we want to be polite, for example with an old man. Or if you are speaking with Latin American people, they always use usted instead of él or ella, or ustedes instead of ellos, ellas. And at the same time, in English, if it is singular, we have he and she, which in Spanish are él and ella. But in plural, we only have they. In Spanish, we use ellos for masculine or groups with mixed gender, and ellas for an entire feminine group. And remember that in Spanish you don't need to say the personal pronoun as in English. As we have different conjugation for each personal pronoun, we already know which person we are speaking about, so we don't need to use the personal pronoun. As I always say, don't be afraid to be wrong, just say it, and you will be becoming better and better as you practice it. So let's start right now. It will be so easy. You will see on the screen during 3 seconds a phrase in English with different options in Spanish to choose. Of course, you have to choose the correct one. If you really want to learn, it's not enough only thinking about the answer. You must write the whole sentence, or at least that's what all learning language studies has as a conclusion. You can do it in your notebook or in the comments of this video. I speak Spanish very well. Yo hablo español muy bien. He speaks to everyone. Él habla a todos. She speaks clearly. Ella habla claramente. We speak every day. Nosotros hablamos todos los días. They speak about work. Ellos hablan sobre el trabajo. You speak English fluently. Tú hablas inglés con fluidez. Let's review the vocabulary. Spanish, español. Very well, muy bien. To, a. Everyone, todos. Clearly, claramente. Every day, todos los días. About, sobre, or, acerca de. Work, trabajo. Fluently, fluidamente. Before to start with the negative, if you like how I explain and you want to continue learning and practicing with me, I recommend you to check the completed course. Lot of people is loving it, link in the description. The negative in Spanish is even easier. As in English we have don't and doesn't, in Spanish we only have no. And as in English, we have to use this no before the principal verb. Pronombre personal más no más the verb with the correct conjugation. Yo no hablo. Tú no hablas. Él, ella, usted no habla. Nosotros no hablamos. Vosotros no habláis. Ellos, ellas, ustedes no hablan. And remember that we do not need to say the personal pronoun. Let's start with the exercises the same as before. I don't speak Spanish very well. Yo no hablo español muy bien. He doesn't speak French. Él no habla francés. She doesn't speak often. Ella no habla a menudo. We don't speak now. Nosotros no hablamos ahora. They don't speak loudly. Ellos no hablan fuerte. You don't speak with your mother. Tú no hablas con tu madre. Let's review the vocabulary. Spanish, español. Very well, muy bien. Often, a menudo. Now, ahora. Loudly, fuerte. Mother, madre. Before to start with the interrogative, if you are not sure to buy the complete course, remember that you can continue learning with the free course. The playlist link is also in the description. Speaking about the interrogative, again, it's really easy. We do not have to add any auxiliary verb, change the order of the verb, or adding an extra word. We only have to change our way to say the sentence. Instead of tú hablas español, we have to say tú hablas español. So the best way to teach it to you is to say it to you. And if it's possible, you can pause the video and repeat it with me. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. And remember that you don't need to say the personal pronoun. And something different comparing to the English is that you need to write the interrogative symbol at the beginning and at the end of the sentence. Let's continue practicing the pronunciation with some exercises. Do I speak Spanish very well? Yo hablo español muy bien. Do I speak clearly? Yo hablo claramente. Does she speak to you? ¿Ella te habla? Do we speak too much? ¿Nosotros hablamos demasiado? Does he speak Spanish well? ¿Él habla bien español? Do they speak every day? ¿Ellos hablan todos los días? Let's review the vocabulary. Spanish, español. Very well, muy bien. Clearly, claramente. Too much, demasiado. Well, bien, every day, todos los días. If you want to check the complete course, click here, and if you want to continue learning for free, click here.